everybody, this is Joe, the Texas Rideshare Guy at texasrideshareguy.com. Thank you for visiting my channel again and watching the video, and remember to subscribe down below. I'm not going to point because I can never remember which side the camera is that you have to point. At any rate, today I want to continue my video series on stress, and I want to give you some hopeful hints how to manage stress, how to manage anxiety and panic attacks, even if you're having panic attacks. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit more in depth about my discovery of ashwagandha. As you all know, if you watch the videos, that I went through about a 3-month period of being sick. I'd have my gallbladder removed surgically, laparoscopically. The surgery was a complete success. It's a very easy surgery to go through if you have to have surgery. It's less invasive than a completely open surgery. They stick a camera in you and a bunch of tools. They get to work and they pull the gallbladder out, and an hour later you're out of surgery. It only took me about 3 days to really recover from it. But in the time that I got sick, I was experiencing acute anxiety. And if any of you have ever had anxiety, you know that sometimes it can be debilitating, and mine was. I went through it for 3 months. Every day I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would go into a very depressed state. I wouldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. My life had been turned upside down. I thought that after my surgery was over, that the anxiety, I was missing work. I was sick almost every day. There were days I could get out there and work, but not 5 and 6 days a week like I was before. And on top of that, I could only get out there and work about 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 tops on the days that I could work. So, thank God my mother helped us out. I had credit cards that I could use to pay bills. I actually did a fundraiser on Facebook and raised $1,000. And for those of you watching this video that donated to that fundraiser, I just absolutely am so humbled by your compassion and your mercy and your grace towards me and my family while we went through this tough time. You know who you are, and I love you. I want you to know. So at any rate, in the middle of all the anxiety, back in February, it just wasn't going away. I called my doctor, and he put me on Zoloft. And that was actually a recommendation from a friend of mine on Facebook that suffers similar things as I did. I was going through. And so my doctor put me on 50 milligrams of Zoloft, and for about 10 days, I did pretty good. I had a little bit of the jitters, and I didn't have any appetite whatsoever. Like the thought of eating food just was, disgusting to me. I just didn't have an appetite. And after about 10 days, I took a turn for the worse. I went into a deep, dark, suicidal depression. Now, I want to qualify that. I'm not a suicidal person, and I'm not a depressed person. I don't suffer from depression. This was clearly anxiety, probably from adrenal fatigue, from financial stress, the stresses of everyday life, being sick. The list goes on. So I called my doctor, and I started tapering off of the Zoloft. And I will tell you, do not ever cold turkey go off of a medicine. It's dangerous. I knew this, and I knew also that in the past I've been on other antidepressants similar to Zoloft, like Celexa, and they just don't work for me. Pharmaceutical medicines don't work for me, and I honestly have a hatred for the pharmaceutical industry for many reasons that I won't go into here. I lost my sister. I will say this: I lost my sister 5 years ago due to pharmaceutical drug abuse. and it was a very sad time in my life. And from that point on, I just, I don't even like taking, aspirin or a leave or anything like that unless I just absolutely have to. If I've got aches and pains in my body, I will try to work the pain out by massaging, the area or whatever. If I do have a bad headache or, if I have a slight injury or something like that, I will take one a leave. And that's usually all I have to take. So I got off the Zoloft, and I started to do some research, and I contacted a friend of mine on Facebook named CJ Ortiz, aka the Metal Motivator. I told him what I was going through, and he recommended I start watching videos by a man named Dr. Eric Berg, who's a specialist in anxiety, adrenal fatigue, and the like. And I started watching his videos, and of course he recommended breathing techniques, going on long walks, not doing heavy lifting type workouts or anything like that, because you're just going to stress out your adrenal glands even more. Walking is relaxing and soothing. You're hearing the birds chirp and the wind blow and all that stuff. And there were massage techniques that I learned that I'm really kind of doing some more research on. They're, instead of acupuncture, these are acupressure techniques of pressure points in the right and left side of the abdomen that supposedly help the adrenal glands. And I'm not really into the whole naturopathic supplements, all that kind of stuff. I really have never been into that. I've taken, vitamins in the past and everything, and I've never felt any difference by them. But I kept hearing this one supplement come up over and over again, and it's ashwagandha. And this is what I've been taking. I got this on Amazon for $15. It's a 30-day supply, 1,950 milligrams a day. It's extra strength. And ashwagandha, from what I understand, is an Indian root that helps for mood stabilization. It helps with anxiety and panic. It helps you to feel relaxed, and there are zero side effects. There's no jitters. There's no nothing. I mean, you just notice all through the day that your mood is good. You're laughing and smiling a lot. You talk with people. To me, it really helps with social anxiety. I've never had that problem before. My anxiety was due to stress. So I started taking this once a day in the morning. Now, you can take this at night. This is an adaptogen. I think what that means is that if you take it before bedtime, it will help you sleep. If you take it in the morning or before a workout, exercise, it will give you more energy. You can break open the capsules and put it into your favorite smoothie or protein shake or veggie drink or whatever, and this will help you to have more energy. So what I did was I started taking the ashwagandha at night, and I started taking melatonin at night. This is 5 milligrams. It's a 5-month supply of melatonin right here. Got it off of Amazon. This is the Amazon brand called Solmo. I highly recommend it. It's worked really well for me. This is 5 milligrams. You're going to need to choose your dose that you think is going to be right for you. Anyway, so I started taking this at bedtime and started taking this in the morning before I go out and start driving for Lyft, Postmates, and Uber. And I'm here to tell you that it's been a lifesaver for me. It is almost instantly changed my mood. It stopped the anxiety attacks. In fact, my anxiety level, I would describe it on a scale of 1 to 10 every day that I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And this is, I would go to sleep. I usually go to bed about, midnight. That's my wife and I both go to bed about midnight. I would wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and sit there and lay in bed, and about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden the anxiety would come on me. I'm not thinking of any bad thoughts or negative thoughts or anything like that. I'm talking about the physical symptoms would just come on. And maybe it's subconscious. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I experienced. But after 3 days of taking, well, I took, when I got the shipment in from Amazon, I got it in the evening time, and I went ahead and I took the melatonin and the ashwagandha that night. And then I got it the next morning and I took the ashwagandha again. And the first 3 days that I was on the ashwagandha and the melatonin, the level of anxiety that I had went from a 7 to 10, 10 being the worst, down to about a 5, maybe even a 4. It really had. I mean, I was having noticeable difference in the anxiety level. I mean, I was actually able to, where I was getting out of bed at 10 or 11, I started getting up at like 9 or 9:30. So I was already seeing improvement in my daily habits, in my mood, in the stress that I was experiencing. I wasn't having the thoughts of, the sky is falling, I'm going to go broke and going to end up out on the streets, my car's going to break down, we're going to go bankrupt. I mean, I literally was having these thoughts. And when I was on Zoloft, I was having, literally momentary brushes with suicidal thoughts. And I'm just not a depressed, suicidal person. I'm not. And but that's what the Zoloft did to me. I don't recommend taking pharmaceutical medicines and unless you just absolutely have to, that they are life-saving medicines. And I believe there are life-saving medicines out there, don't get me wrong. But again, the ashwagandha and the melatonin changed everything for me. Now, after about 3 days, the anxiety in the morning completely stopped. This was 3 weeks ago when I started taking the ashwagandha and melatonin. 3 weeks ago, and I have it in almost, probably 14 days, 15 days, something like that. I have had no anxiety in the morning at all. And my energy level is starting to come back. Literally, it was almost instantaneously. It wasn't a wait weeks to get results like it had to on a lot of pharmaceutical medicines. Mine was almost instantaneously. I felt better. The next morning after the first day, I considerably felt better. And I don't know what it is that the ashwagandha does. I know it's like an Indian root or a berry or something like that. But maybe it's the placebo effect on me. I don't know. I know this, the melatonin has got me sleeping now about 5 or 6 hours a day versus where I was sleeping 2 to 3 hours a day. And see, the thing is that stress puts you on this hamster wheel. It's a never-ending cycle. I said this in my other videos. You can't break the poor sleep. You can't break the eating habits. You can't break the thoughts. You can't break the exhaustion. It's like there's so many things that you're bombarded with, and I believe it's attributed to our adrenal glands being fatigued, and they're for me, the cortisol is the stress hormone. As I said in my other videos, adrenaline is really good. Cortisol is good. You need to be balanced in your cortisol. Adrenaline is the fight or flight hormone, where the lion is chasing after the zebra. Well, the lion has the fight or flight hormone going, the adrenaline going, because he's in a fight. He's fighting to find food to eat because of his hunger. The zebra is in flight because he's just trying to exist another day. So for the few minutes that he's being chased by the lion, he's in flight mode. Hopefully he gets away. But then the poor lion's got to eat too, and that's the law of the jungle. So that's what happens is we get, adrenaline will cause you to go into fight or flight in dangerous situations. And a panic attack is actually a false alarm, is what I've come to learn. Your adrenal glands are pumping these hormones into your body, thinking that there's a dangerous situation when there's not. And not to worry when you're having the symptoms of a panic attack, you know, the racy heart, the sweating, maybe the tingling in your arms and legs or whatever. They're not going to kill you. You're not having a heart attack. But to me, anxiety is a little bit different. Anxiety is due to worry, and you know, worried about your finances, worried about your health. You know, there's a whole list of things that can cause you to worry. And so for me, it was chronic. But I'm here to tell you, these two things right here, the ashwagandha and the melatonin, worked wonders for me. Now I've been almost 3 weeks on these two supplements. That's all I did. I didn't go on long walks. I did breathing exercises, but I did these two things, and I am telling you that I had incredible results from using these two things. So in closing, I want to suggest if you are dealing with stress, if you're dealing with anxiety and panic attacks, your life is not over. You can change your situation for the better. I did. I'm not really that special. I'm just Joe, the Texas rideshare guy, and that's a shameless plug right there. Anyway, I'm just somebody that I was tired of being sick and tired, and being full of worry and full of doubt and my faith. I've been a Christian since I was 12 years old. I'm not perfect. I have pretty strong faith in God. But I have to tell you, the last 3 months, my faith was tested for sure. And I had to, in this situation, I had to find out what I was made of. And what I did was I put my faith to action. I tried several different things. I figured out what didn't work, and I found something that did work, and you can too. So I just want to close by saying this. If you are struggling with anxiety or panic disorders, you're not alone. I would recommend that you go and consult with your doctor, but I don't recommend getting on antidepressant medicines. I just don't think they are good. I'm not saying they won't work. For some people, they certainly don't work for me. The natural path for me worked. I'm going to keep researching because I'm making it my mission to help those in the rideshare industry that drive for Uber and Lyft and the food deliveries, Amazon Flex, whatever, that watch these videos. I'm making it my mission to find out things that work that will help you in the stress that you deal with every day, especially being a rideshare guy. Not all of us drive luxury vehicles and are making $2,000 a week. I'm at best on average making $500 to $600 a week. I love the freedom. I have a part-time job that also supplements that income. I love the freedom. I love being able to take a long weekend off when I want to, or during the middle of the week if I'm tired. I don't have to get out there and drive if I don't want to. I would like to increase my income. I'm trying to buy a luxury sedan, namely a Jaguar XF, a black-on-black Jaguar XF, to do Uber Select and Lyft Lux and Lyft Lux Black, as well as the economy tiered rides, to at least have a chance to make more money. And plus, it won't suck to drive around in a Jaguar every day. I'm not quite there yet. I'm working on my credit score and working on saving some money. It's hard to do when you have bills and you're only making $500 to $600. But I think now I'm in a place where I think that I can start making more money at the level that I'm at, and to be able to save money for a down payment, just because I think that my life has changed. I'm through that season of illness. And I just want to close again with this, that just remember, it's a season. It's not a sentence. It's not going to be lifelong. You can do things to change the level of anxiety that you're experiencing. We're all going to experience stress, and there's just no way to get around it. I mean, I don't watch the news. I just don't. I just don't watch what's going on in the political realm. I listen to Tony Robbins and other self-improvement people, things that are inspiring. I watch inspiring movies. I don't watch things that are going to stress me out. I really try to filter what goes in my eyes and ears. I think that changes what comes out of my mouth. So this is Joe, the Texas rideshare guy, saying adios from Dallas, Texas. Until next time, peace out, and remember to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can see the other videos. I hope this helps, and talk to you soon. Peace.